Floods are the most frequent natural hazards in Canada and have affected hundreds of thousands of Canadians in the past. They can occur at any time of the year and are most often caused by heavy rainfall, rapid melting of thick snowpack, ice jams, or more rarely, the failure of a natural or human-made dam. Have you ever thought of how floods could affect you? All Canadian rivers experience flooding at one time or another, and the potential for flood damage is particularly high where there is development on low-lying, flood-prone lands. It is important for you to know your location and be aware of whether or not you're on a floodplain. Floods are the most costly natural hazards in terms of property damage, so it's important to determine what your insurance coverage includes.
We talk about significant events having big impacts. Flooding is now number one, both in terms of the insurance industry, concerns for municipalities, local government, where again a lot of that funding for repairs is going to come out of. This is both seasonal flooding. We talk about the spring freshet, melting snow, rain in that springtime, warmer temperatures, but also more and more now the flash flood situations as we're getting into May, June, July, August. Storms that just sit over one area for a number of hours, or a series of storms passing over one area repeatedly. And what we're talking about is huge numbers of rainfall. Normal rainfall in the area for the month of July could be about 80 millimeters, but some of these storms capable of dumping 200, 250 millimeters in that one event.
Though all levels of government are working to reduce the impact of floods, individuals have a responsibility to protect their homes and their families. Only you can protect your property, and by taking the time to prepare in advance, you can lessen the impact of a flood. To get prepared, you need to reduce the likelihood of flood damage. You can take steps such as putting weather protection sealant around basement windows and the base of ground level doors, installing downspouts a sufficient distance from your residence to ensure water moves away from the building. Consider sump pump installation and refrain from storing important documents or expensive equipment in the basement. You need to make an emergency plan so you and your family know what to do in case of an emergency. Remember that your family may not be together, so it's important to identify an out-of-town contact that can act as a central point of contact in an emergency. Assemble key items that will help you and your family be self-sufficient for at least 72 hours. You likely have some of these items already, such as a flashlight, radio, food, and water. The key is to make sure they are organized, accessible, and easy to carry. Don't forget to create copies of important documents such as passports, health cards, and driver's licenses. Also consider special items such as prescription meds, formula, cash in smaller bills, and equipment for people with disabilities or health concerns. If a flood is imminent, follow instructions from local emergency officials and stay informed. You can move belongings to floors above ground level and in some cases protect your home with barriers. During a flood, you should determine what areas are affected, what roads are safe, where to go, and what to do if local emergency officials ask you to leave your home. Keep your emergency items close, and if you're asked to evacuate, follow routes specified by officials. Never cross a flooded area. If you are on foot, fast water can sweep you away, and if you're in a car, the water may be deeper than it looks. If you are caught in fast rising waters and your car stalls, leave it and save yourself and your passengers.
So if you're driving home and you see that a road is flooded, there's water covering it, don't try to cross those waters. Even half a foot of water is enough to turn your car over or to carry you away downstream. It's just not worth it, so turn around and don't drown. Find a safer way home.
After a flood, you should exercise extreme caution and should only return home once authorities have advised that it is safe to do so. Flooded appliances pose a risk of shock or fire when turned on, and there could be buckled walls or floors, broken glass, or other potentially dangerous debris. In addition, floodwater can be heavily contaminated with sewage and other pollutants, which can cause sickness and infections. So it is important to stay informed through public health advisories.
The first thing that people want to do when a flood is over and they've been evacuated is to get back home and check and see if there's damage. Listen to your local radio, follow the instructions that are being given to you by your emergency managers. They'll tell you when it's safe to go.
Record details of flood damage by photograph or video to register the amount of damage to your home with your insurance or local municipality. planning for a flood, we'll also help prepare you for many other types of emergencies. So get started today. For more emergency preparedness information, visit our website, www.dufferincounty.ca, and to learn more about the watershed you live in, visit www.conservationontario.ca.